Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done, like most of mine, with Loren Sherman's fan-made Gallifreyan script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on various stems to make the consonants. And then the vowels are these smaller circles hanging out, either around the outside of the word circle or enclosed within individual stems. Vowels make more sense in practice. I'll get to them when I get to them. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and start explaining the layout of this design. So, unlike most designs done in Sherman script, which are written bottom counterclockwise, this one is arranged left to right, more like Doctor's Cot. Anyway, so you'd read the leftmost to the rightmost word, but you still read each individual word bottom counterclockwise. So here's the first word circle, here's the bottom of it, and the first stem you hit is this complete circle inside our circle, so that's this stem, and on it there is one line. So one line on that stem is an N. And then here we have our first vowel. It is a small circle, so it's a vowel, and it is on our consonant inside the word circle. So it's inside the word circle on the consonant, so it's in an O position, and an O on this J stem looks like this, so kind of like a bead on a string, so an O would be hanging out anywhere on the line of this stem. So N-O, continuing around, here's our next stem, and I did kind of a trick with this stem sometimes in this design, where I overlap the next word with that stem. So this stem overlaps with this word, but this is less than 50% completed of a circle on the stem, so this is like an arc that is 50% or less completed, so it's a T stem, and there's no dots or lines on it, so that's just a T. So a T by itself without an overlapping word looks like this. I just put the next word overlapping it. Anyway, so N-O-T is our first word. And then continuing right, here's our next word. Here's the bottom of it. Here's the first thing you hit. And it is an A. It's a small circle outside our word circle. So A's are outside the word circle. So this is the word circle. This dotted line in the middle is like the word circle. A's are outside it. O's are inside it. And if this is the stem circle, A's would be towards the outside, and so on and so forth. Anyway, A, continuing around. Here's our next letter, and it's a double line, so it's a double letter, and they're the same thickness, so they're the same letter. And there's 3 dots with this one. These 3 dots can't be with the A, and there's no other dots in this stem, so this has to be an L, because 3 dots on that stem is an L. So A double L, so all. Continuing on, here's our next word. It is a circle on the line of our word circle, so it's this stem. Here's the word circle. Circle on the line of the word circle. And it's got an O on it, just like this O. So, like this. T-H-O. Continuing around. Here's our next stem. It's another T stem, right? So it's 50% or less completed, like chunk taken out, divot. And on it, there's 1, 2, 3 lines that end on it. Lines that go through it don't count. It's only the lines that end on it. So 3 lines ending on it makes that an S. Continue around. Here's another smaller circle, and it is on the line of the word circle with no lines coming from it. So it's an E. So T-H-O-S-E. Those. Continue around. Now we have this word, and this stem is the first stem you hit. Now it looks like these 3 dots might be part of it, but these 3 dots are actually way closer to this stem, so they're part of this stem. Only this one big dot is on this stem. So that's a W-H. And then we have an O on it. So like that. So W-H-O. Continue around. Here's our bottom of this next big word circle. Here's our first stem. It's another T stem, but with 1, 2 lines on it. So that's a W. Continuing around. Here is a little circle, so it's a vowel, and it's closer here, so I know it's part of this word circle, not this word circle or this word circle. It's closest there. So it is part of that circle, and it is an A. Continuing around. Here is a circle inside our word circle with 1 line. So this stem with 1 line is another N, just like this one. Lines can be curved, be straight, whatever. So N, continuing around. Here is a more than 50% completed divot. So it's a deep divot, so it's this stem with 1, 2, 3 dots on it. So that's a D. Then we have an E right in the middle of that D stem, like this. So this is a B, E, this is a D, E. Continuing around. Here is another T stem. So it's a less than 50% completed divot with 1, 2, 3 dots on it, making it an R. So wander. Here's our next word, bottom of it. Here's another A, just like this A, closest here, so A. Here's 1, 2, 3 dots on this shallow divot or T-stem. So just like this one had three dots on a shallow one, it's another R, because 3 dots on a shallow divot is an R. And then we have an E. And E's on T-stems are kind of tricky, because if you compare, this is an A on a T-stem, and this is an E on a T-stem. The difference between these two is if you were to continue this word circle around, the A would be outside of it, while the E would be on the line or inside of it. Now this is right on the line exactly of the word circle, so it is an E, not an A. So A-R-E. And here's our last word. Here's the bottom of it. Here's the first stem you hit. It is 3 dots on a circle inside the circle. So circle inside the circle with 3 dots is an L. And on it we have an O, just like this O. And then we have this stem. Now, even though this makes another concentric circle, it's just the lines on this stem because they end here and they end here. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3 lines on a T-stem. So here's that shallow divot T-stem with 3 lines in it is an S. And then continuing around, here's our last stem. And it has lines passing through it, but again, lines that pass through it do not count. So there's actually nothing modifying this stem, so it is just a T. So L-O-S-T. And then I was asked to include a semicolon for suicide awareness in this design, so I put it in here, where you'd put punctuation at the end. And this is almost, so this lone circle is kind of how you do a semicolon anyway, except it would be like closer inside the sentence circle, but then it would look like a dot for this stem. Anyway, this is my incorporated semicolon. So yeah, that's this design. Not all those who wander are lost with the semicolon.